Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. Who do you think will win when Kratos confronts Vegeta? God of War meets Saiyan Prince. Kratos, a cold-blooded Spartan general who later became the God of War, possesses superior physical strength, brutal close combat skills, and magical weapons from the gods. He can confront giant titans, destroy gods like Zeus, Ares, or Thor, and survive hundreds of fierce battles. Kratos' strength comes not only from his muscles, but also from his indomitable will, undying hatred, and desire to overcome fate. Vegeta, the prince of the same people, is a symbol of pride and constant effort. Possessing the ability to increase his strength after each near-death experience, Vegeta can reach states such as Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Ego, and can even break the divine limit. With his speed, fighting skills, and ability to shoot planet-destroying energy blasts, Vegeta is an opponent that anyone should be wary of. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Kratos, once the god of war, the ghost of Sparta, the god of death, and the nightmare of Olympus, his bloody journey extends beyond the gods to abstract forces beyond the conventional limits of reality. When Kratos confronts and destroys the Furies, three evil entities created from the blood of the Primordials. The Primordials do not exist in physical form, but are the crystallization of the most ancient and supreme concepts: space, time, power, life, death, fate, and destiny. Their power transcends all limits of space and time. The Furies are not only guardians of mystical justice, but also the embodiment of cruel punishment. With the ability to manipulate minds and impose will, a typical example is Aegeon, the Titan god who guards the sky with 100 mighty arms, a terrifying hecaton chairs that once made Olympus wary. At the hands of the Furies, Aegeon was also reduced to a slave to their power. Yet, Kratos, with his bare hands and an iron will, broke all the chains that bound the oath and destroyed the Furies, could not imprison a being whose rage had never been extinguished. Kratos was tortured there for all eternity after breaking his oath to Ares. He was still far from divinity, let alone true power, but Orcos, the son of the Furies, helped awaken Kratos from his mind, allowing him to regain his power and eventually surpass and destroy the Furies with their full power. Kratos defeated the primordial Morpheus, the abstract embodiment of dream and mind. Kratos then used the power of Helios and used his own power to erase Morpheus' darkness from existence. Kratos slaughtered the Olympians, who were on a scale similar to Greek mythology, according to their creators in scope and power. Kratos, a cursed warrior with a past of blood and vengeance, faced colossal forces beyond the scope of any myth. He faced Atlas, the ancient titan who was seen as the purest symbol of cosmic power. Atlas was cursed to bear the entire weight of the earth, the sky, the entire universe, the underworld, and the pillars that supported the world. Kratos also slew Hercules in a brutal battle. Hercules was now not only a symbol of the glory of the 12 immortal labors, but also wielded seemingly limitless power. Legend has it that Hercules had to bear the bottomless universe on his shoulders, which required a power beyond the realm of the ordinary. Furthermore, Hercules possesses the Nemean Cestus gauntlets, which are said to be able to amplify the force of his blows exponentially, creating blows that can crush even pure steel in an instant. However, all of these powers are still not enough to stop Kratos' rage. When facing Helios, the sun god, Kratos shows a cold calm. The light from Helios, according to mythology, can instantly light up and fill the entire deepest level of the underworld, a place with no limits, no end. However, that light, no matter how brilliant, when it shines on Kratos, is just a meaningless spark before the Spartan warrior's anger. Kratos' superiority is further reinforced when he clashes with Hermes, the messenger god who has the ability to travel through the endless underworld without being affected by time. Not only could Hermes dash through the darkness like the wind, but he was also able to freeze Helios' light in an instant. Kratos not only reacted to that speed, but also killed Hermes in overwhelming battle, then took the same limitless speed that the god once possessed. Kratos destroyed the abstract embodiment of death itself, Thanatos in his realm. Thanatos existed before all knowledge and concepts. He was present everywhere in all times and had death's control over all beings, including the god. In terms of power, Thanatos was on par with Uranos, the creator of all existence in the God of War universe, along with all of its infinite concepts and existences. Kratos disemboweled Kronos, the abstract embodiment of time and space, son of the supreme creator Uranos. Kronos killed his father, Uranos, the creator of all concepts of reality and the entire existence of Gao, with a single punch, including heaven, earth, the universe, and the underworld, all of which were considered infinite and immeasurable dimensions. Through this, Uranos created an infinite hierarchy of levels. Puranos is the abstract embodiment of power and life. An entire universe and its power reside within him. Kratos has extracted Hades' soul from his world, the underworld. Hades has complete control over souls and the dead. In his world, he holds absolute dominion and unlimited power. Kratos, weakened after falling into the river Styx, defeated Hades with all his might and took the power for himself. The underworld is said to be infinitely powerful and boundless, and it is only the embodiment of Hades' power. Kratos has killed Gaia, the mother of the Titans and the abstract embodiment of the development of life. She exists before time and knowledge, and being omnipotent, she has proven herself to be beyond the 5D. Kratos has murdered his father Zeus, the god of the gods. As mentioned above, Kronos overcame his father, Uranos, the supreme being of the Gao universe. Zeus defeated and enslaved his father at a very young age. From then on, he became more powerful than ever. Zeus created Olympus, an infinite heaven where the gods reside. Olympus is intertwined with the fabric of existence, and reality cannot exist without it. Zeus holds complete dominion and unlimited power over the Greek existence. He controls time, fate, life, reality, etc. He can erase any being under his control with a single thought. Zeus himself is so intertwined with reality itself that if he dies, existence will collapse. He erased all the Titans from existence and imprisoned them forever in Tartarus. The power level of the Titans ranges from planetary entities to conceptual entities. After ascending to astral form, making him invulnerable to all physical means and fortified by the abstract concepts of fear and evil, Zeus was still defeated by Kratos. Zeus's death destroyed all of existence and its hierarchy, and Kratos was able to counter it. Kratos defeated Thor, who broke the world tree Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil spans infinity across the 9 realms and represents and transcends the space-time continuum throughout existence. The God of War also possesses many magical and magical abilities. He is a true immortal, having defied death on multiple occasions, and possesses the ability to manipulate abstractions and concepts among other abilities. Kratos possesses infinite strength, infinite speed, infinite destructive durability, existential destructive power, and maximum conceptual abilities and powers. Kratos has crossed the complex multiverse, including the outer world, and crossed many realms of existence, making him a creature that destroys creation. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot, and you are the best. Thank you very much. Vegeta, the last prince of the Saiyan race, is not only a naturally powerful warrior, but also one who constantly surpasses his limits. In the world of Dragon Ball, his name is synonymous with strength, pride, and constant evolution, making him one of the most formidable warriors to ever appear. Starting at Super Saiyan 2, Vegeta has reached a power that can cover the entire physical range of a galaxy. When he enters the Super Saiyan God state, his energy extends beyond the limits of individual planets and permeates an entire universe, reaching a level of superiority that only divine warriors can achieve. With the Super Saiyan Blue state, Vegeta's power is pushed to new heights, enough to shake the entire dimension of a lower structured multiverse. However, Vegeta's true transformation occurs when he enters the Super Saiyan Blue evolution state. His muscles are brimming with energy, his eyes are as sharp as molten steel, his hair shines an intense dark blue, and around his body are waves of energy swirling through the air, creating a visual effect like a miniature cosmic tornado. At this level, Vegeta can easily destroy all barriers. The evolution reaches its peak when Vegeta attains the Ultra Ego state. In this state, his body is covered in a fierce purple aura, like the frictional fire between dimensions burning on the body of a god of war. His ability to absorb damage and convert it into offensive power allows him to turn pain into a merciless counterattack, causing any enemy to fear him. After a fierce confrontation with Goku in his early Ultra Instinct state, the two of them have pushed their combat limits to the point where they can shake the entire world an infinite dimension without the concept of fixed time or space. The mere collision between Goku and Vegeta when both were in their Super Saiyan Blue states was enough to create a shockwave in this space. The moment Vegeta confronted Jiren, a warrior who far surpassed all standards of strength, especially a version of Jiren that was far superior to himself in his battle with Hit. Jiren had easily resisted the ability to manipulate time, showing that his power had reached the level of transcending three-dimensional time. However, Vegeta not only held his own against such a Jiren, but also forced him into a defensive position. With each step forward, each battle, Vegeta constantly redefined the concept of limits, where every challenge was crushed by indomitable will and power. Vegeta has long asserted his position, not only carrying burning pride, but also possessing unlimited potential for growth. Vegeta continuously showed great progress, gradually catching up, even in many moments surpassing Goku. The battle between Goku and the god of destruction Beerus. With just the two energy fists colliding, the entire universe seemed to shake, space expanded to an alarming degree, and distant celestial bodies were affected by the aftershocks from those collisions. At that time, Goku had only reached the Super Saiyan God state, but the power emitted from him was already at the level of the entire universe. After that event, Vegeta and Goku were seen training together at the base of Beerus' angel advisor Whis, who had been closely monitoring their development. Although Dragon Ball Super continues to expand, it is undeniable that Vegeta's power is still progressing every day. With an indomitable will, unyielding pride, and the ability to break all limits, Vegeta continues to be a force to be reckoned with. Vegeta in the Saiyan saga is definitely the strongest Saiyan. I don't care how many Goku fans like to say, oh, but Goku technically beat him and he only lost because of his giant ape form, and while that's true, Goku needed to use a Kaioken X4 transformation to have a real chance against Vegeta, who had been using raw power up until that point. I'd rate Vegeta in this saga about a 2/10 because of both his raw power and his giant ape form. Not much has changed from the previous encounter in the Saiyan saga, except for a little Zenkai boost he probably got for almost getting killed. That's why in his encounter with Kui, he was able to scare the alien away due to his much higher power, as well as Zarbon and Dodoria, since he was on the same power level as them. We actually got to see what he went through on Bulma's gravity ship and in space while searching for Goku and trying to achieve Super Saiyan. Apparently they can breathe in space too. Vegeta eventually achieved Super Saiyan and took down Android 19. It was Vegeta's pride that made him make the stupidest choice of his life by letting Cell become perfect. However, Vegeta trained a lot in the time chamber and took down semi-perfect Cell when he stepped out, only to come back later. Vegeta was not able to reach level 3 like Trunks, who was stronger than Vegeta at the time. Vegeta had a flashback during his first fight with Frieza that showed King Vegeta being able to destroy an entire planet and two smaller planets without any problems. What though these two planets were only destroyed as a result of the larger planet being destroyed? So, if we take this as a measure, he's at least on planet destroying level. But this depends on the scale of the planet, because we know that planets can even be smaller than Earth, which would make it easier for King Vegeta. Remember that old Master Roshi destroyed the moon when his power was over 100. In his base form, he's much stronger than everyone else in the saga. Stated by Goku to be much stronger and faster than him, even with Kaioken 2X Vegeta is still stronger, Goku had to use Kaioken X3 just to get past him and Kaioken X4 to win the beam duel, and with Vegeta transformed into a great ape, he's much stronger than anything Goku could muster, almost killing him without the help of Gohan, Krillin, and Yajirobe. Vegeta continues to be a force that no one can ignore. And his journey certainly still has many thresholds to be broken ahead, at the intersection of two universes. From an unstable space, two completely separate realities collide. The ancient Greek mythology universe filled with bloodthirsty gods, and the Dragon Ball universe where warriors who transcend the laws of physics reign. The moment Kratos stepped out, his entire body covered in a hazy black smoke carrying the aura of war and hatred, he realized that he had wandered into a strange world, where energy seemed to operate according to principles completely different from Olympus. Vegeta, the royal warrior of the Saiyan race, was quietly training in the heart of the vast universe, where starlight circled his glowing body like small flames circling an angry sun. Suddenly, a violent shockwave tore through the vacuum. He stopped, his eyes coldly directed towards the direction of the disturbance that had just appeared. Every cell in Vegeta's body warned that a stranger carrying ancient power was entering his territory. Without a word, Kratos was the first to strike. From his scarred arms, the blades of chaos were launched with blazing flames sweeping through the air, accompanied by the axe of Leviathan roaring like an echo of eternal ice. The attacks were filled with ancient magic, the energy that had once torn apart the gods on Mount Olympus. However, Vegeta was no ordinary warrior. He disappeared in an instant, moving at speeds beyond the concept of light, dodging all attacks with cold composure. Waves of ki blasts were launched from a safe distance, both to test the opponent and to analyze his fighting style. Seeing the extraordinary tenacity in each step of Kratos, Vegeta realized that the man before him was not just a brave warrior, but a destroyer of gods. Vegeta's eyes shone with an unusual concentration. Kratos understood that he was not only from another world, but also a bearer of a fierce history, where the blood of gods flowed and mixed with the ashes of old eras. Kratos summoned the powers he had stolen from the very gods he had trampled underfoot. First came Zeus's thunderbolts, blue-white sparks that crisscrossed the sky like a web. Next came Ares' fire, a crimson fire power that devoured the surrounding air, turning the space into a sea of fire that sparkled like living lava. Kratos summoned Hades' scythe. As the scythe slashed forward, a dark energy engulfed Vegeta, pulling his soul from his body for a brief moment, only to return it in an overwhelming attack. Vegeta jumped up with a start, his eyes burning with a look that was no longer merciful. For a moment, he entered a Super Saiyan Blue state, his entire body covered in a blue aura that surged like a tornado of energy. But then, Vegeta surpassed even that limit. His body began to absorb the pain. The bleeding wounds turned into a new source of power, and from within his palms, the purple flames of Ultra Ego burned fiercely. His face was cold, a slight smile full of defiance as the smoke of battle swirled around him. The two crashed into each other like meteorites colliding, each punch emitting a sound that tore through the air. The explosions from the collision spread thousands of miles away, causing nearby planets to shake. Kratos, now no longer holding the normal human form, he unleashed the rage of Sparta, and became the living embodiment of primal rage. Blood flowed from his wounds, but his crimson eyes remained fixed on the target in front of him. Every step he took shattered the space beneath his feet, and from his body, the aura of war spread like an invisible storm. Vegeta, though broken and covered in blood, did not lose his coldness. With a hoarse voice, he uttered a sentence that silenced the entire space. "Those who call themselves your gods are nothing more than weaklings, hiding behind the shell of power." At that moment, neither of them hesitated. Kratos raised the blade of Olympus, the weapon that had once ended Zeus's existence, and the blow contained the entire soul of the bloody rebellion that had lasted since ancient time. In response, Vegeta poured all the remaining energy in his body, upgrading his ultimate move, Final Explosion. A wave of purple energy spread out, causing the ground to crack and the air to thicken as if gravity were warping. The light from the blade of Olympus and the explosive energy of the Final Explosion simultaneously engulfed the sky. The universe fell silent for a moment, then flared up like a new sun born from the depths of destruction. The explosion spread out, wiping out the entire space. Kratos collapsed, his body melting but still breathing. Vegeta has been shown to be a planet destroyer since his first appearance, and he is now capable of destroying multiple universes. Kratos, on the other hand, has escaped hell twice and defeated the entire lineup of Greek gods, except Aphrodite, by himself. Overall, Vegeta has always shown to be a much higher level of combat and is much faster than Kratos, who probably can't even move at supersonic speeds. Vegeta can also negate Hakai, which can erase opponents from existence. If that happens, their souls will be wiped out as well. Vegeta, win. I hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thanks a lot.